As our motor has changed, our shaft has changed as well. As you can see, our bore is now a much larger diameter, and we have a flat on the bore that stops the attached gear from spinning. Because of the fact that our shaft is now different, our sprocket must change as well. As you can see, I've changed the diameter of this hole, and I've also added this extrusion, which starts a little bit inward here to match the shaft. And this is basically acting as the flat that stops it from moving. So as you can imagine, when this is being used, the flat stops the motor from spinning around. You can see the flat. But there's only one problem. This on its own is really not enough to stop the shaft from spinning around inside this hole. So we need to add a little bit more, clamping force onto it. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to add a hole. I'm going to fast forward here, come up to where my hole is. And so as you can see, I've already created a hole, and this hole actually runs up through the flat, and it stops right there. So you can see that there is a hole. Hopefully that makes it obvious what's going on here. And I can try to make it a different visual style. So you can see, a little bit hard to see, but that is the extruded circle. So that being said, we need to create some more clamping force. And the way we're going to do that is by putting a plastite screw all the way through until it touches the bore. And so the way we're going to do that is this is going to be for a number 10. And a number 10 screw is about 190 in diameter. So we're going to have to guess out what we want our bore to be. Now, if it's a 190 major diameter, then we want this to be about 160 or about 150 to be really tight. So I'm going to make this 160 for number 10. And as you can see, it does fall outside the bounds of it a little bit. But that's quite all right, as long as it's touching the whole piece. And so from here, what we want to do is we want to add in that screw. But first, there is a bit of a limitation here. And the limitation is that the screw is going to stick out a little bit because of its size. So let's do a quick measurement. And the way to do a measurement is I'm going to come out, inspect, click this face. And this is going to be 0.302. And so from using this dimension, we can kind of guess what screw we want to use. And depending on that, we're going to figure out if we need to make a counter bore or if we need to add an extruded piece on top. This being 0.302, we can try to aim for a screw that's 0.25 long, which means that our hole needs to be about 0.05 inset. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to do an extrude cut. And so the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to find where my planes are, which if I need to, I can just drag up my plane. And so from here, I can just kind of place this right here on the bore, and you can make it just a distance that sits close. In this case, it's about 0.406 or 0.404. I'm going to make it a little bit less, 0.407. And with that, we're just going to start a sketch. And we can just find the center of the circle, drag out. And we're going to make this the size of the screw, whatever that might be, the screw head. And we're going to create our extrusion. And this is going to be 0.05. And we're cutting into the material here. You can see the preview of what it's going to look like. And so I'm just going to experiment with cutting in a little bit deeper. And now we're going to do a test for the measurement. And we're going to see that this is 0.21. So if we used a 1/4 inch long screw, we would find that it's sticking out. But we do want our screw to have some room to be able to be pushed in or to have a little extra length. So we're going to leave this as is, and we're going to bring the screw model into the assembly. That way we can have a better understanding of exactly what this is going to look like. We've attached our DC motor to our sprocket, and we've added our screw in an assembly which clamps down on the bore coming out of the motor. Now, if I show this with a visual style of wireframe with hidden edges, you can see the bore coming out, and you'll notice that the screw is actually going through it, which is not what we want. That being said, we do need to make a change here. I'm going to come back to my bore, and I'm going to come to where my extrusion is. And instead of an operation for a cut, I'm going to make an operation for a join. Now, I'm going to make this 2 sides instead of 1 side. And doing so, what I can do is just drag this up to my liking. And now I have a nice sort of dowel that my thing can rest on. All we have to do at this point is come and select the hole that was missing. And you may need to go back into the sketch and just project that. That's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to project the circle, hit OK. And when I go back, I can now deselect that. And so from here, we're just going to see if this looks a little bit better. We can just do that in the context of the assembly. Now this is updated, but what we need to do is move up our screw. So I'm going to just edit my joint here, and you can just kind of move it by hand for now. Now if this was here, then it would be just about where it needs to be. What we're going to do is lower it a little bit because there's another challenge that we need to tackle. So I'm just going to lower this just a little bit. So instead of being so high, it's going to definitely be a little bit lower. Maybe just 0.070. And we're just kind of nudging it and feeling out where it should be. You always have to save in order to see changes. And so once this updates, we'll see that take effect. And another challenge that we're going to face is the fact that this extrusion is way too close to the sprocket gears. So we're going to have to make a change in order for that to be ameliorated. I may choose to move the screw out to the right because if I do that, there's going to be more room for our chain to ride on the sprocket. So our barrel is too close to our sprockets. We're going to have to make a change here. I'm going to look at the diameter here of the screw, and I'm going to come back and make some changes to the diameter of this extrusion. And I'm going to make this 8.5 millimeters. And doing so, we're going to put ourselves in a much safer zone. The other thing I want to do is move the hole itself. If we look back on our test, we can see that we have to move this quite a bit to the end. And so if we can't do it in this sketch, we're going to do it in the whole sketch. Literally the sketch of the whole. Get rid of sketches that don't matter. And let's find that one here. Okay, so here is our sketch, and it is a point. So we can just move this point back. And we can do a little bit of trial and error here. If I save this assembly, we can look at the assembly in context. And we're going to see that this diameter has changed and also that the whole thing is moved. And as long as it's not in the way of the chain, we should be good. If we look with our wireframe, we can see exactly how the bore fits into the D-shaped cutout. And our screw will likely not be in the way of the roller chain based on our dimensions. And as you can see, the screw is pushing down on the bore. Now we have allowed some space here for the screw to still move down. So there is a small gap here. And the very small gap there, if we decide also to make it even a little larger, is to allow for some play and some tightening down on this bore. And as long as that bore is nice and tight, it should be very hard for it to rotate in place. So as you can see, the bore rotates, and the D shape, if we look at it from the front, the D shape and the screw is what stops it from rotating. So you can see here, it's very hard to see in that view, but you can see here that flat is what stops it from rotating because it tightens down on it. So hopefully this makes sense. And if this is something you're trying, hopefully you can set it up so that it works for you. I really did this all with estimates. But hopefully this screw will stop rotation on the barrel because the bore in our DC motor is very short. And we want to make sure that the energy transfer that we have from the motor is still coming all the way through this sprocket assembly, even though it's such a short bore.